Sacramento, California, where the Kings reign and AAA baseball thrives. But what stands out in Sacktown isn't just its sports teams, it's the commitment to giving back to the city, whether that's a champion inspiring change.
Members from the studio go out into the community and do an act of kindness, a good deed, and that is contagious.
A top recruit galvanizing the community.
I never thought I'd be this big, but repping your city, I love that.
Or a pro team leveling the playing field so that all people can play.
What we want to do in the community is be a unifying force, and this is where sports can do that.
Amitis Pourarian has been smashing boards and stereotypes for decades. She's a 4-time national champion and 8th degree black belt, and that's just skimming the surface.
People get complacent and they're happy with, I'm doing this much. That's not Amitis. She's not even happy doing this much.
Behind me, there's a bottle that she just stood there and went, whack!
She kicks over her head from behind and breaks a board. I think they call that scorpion.
Here's my garden: tomatoes, zucchini, cucumbers. We got lots of strawberries. This just took off on its own. And these are, you gotta dig for them. You'll find some great strawberries. Yeah.
While some champions are fueled by fame, Amitis is driven by a different purpose.
1, 2, and a yacht. Ready? I was born in Tehran, Iran. I just remember it just as a kid, great place to grow up and live. I think I was about 5 or 6 years old and we moved, but we had a short stint in Switzerland and then Michigan and then moved to California.
Into Taekwondo when you were young?
Well, I didn't have a sad story. I didn't get beat up on my way to school or anything like that, but a family friend took me and kind of like fell in love with it.
After discovering her passion for Taekwondo, Amitis found a home at Master Corey's gym in Sacramento.
My first memory of her would be she was probably up into the red belt level, probably been training for a couple of years. She was a young teenager, I don't know, maybe 13 years old, very motivated, hardworking.
It was a great way for me to be in control of my future with a sport. Like, no one had to pass me the ball for me to make the shot. And I just loved that it was all in my control. If I want to be good, I could be good. I want to be great, I could be great.
Started winning, became a black belt. And so she ended up fighting a lot with the men, which I think gave her an edge, because when it came time to go off into the circuit where she would spar with women in competition, she would just dominate them.
And so the next step was, you know, state championships, national championships. With some amazing training, you know, and support from my family, I was able to make it to the U.S. team. I was in the World Cup and it was in Vietnam. It was amazing, yeah, it was wonderful to represent.
No matter what it is that I'm doing, I'm still going to relax, breathe, execute.
I'm what I like to consider a martial artist. And so the natural progression is to teach others and share your knowledge, share your Taekwondo for the posterity of Taekwondo for it to continue. It wasn't ever gonna be an option to leave it aside.
She traveled the world and competed on a global stage. But Amitis never forgot where she came from.
The grab happens, fast as you can, you get the air. Take a knee out. And eventually, my hobby gone wild. It became a commercial school. You know, it's different, you know, obviously with the Islamic Republic. When I was a kid, it was more westernized and everybody was free to do as they wish. And now, you know, you have a lot of restrictions, oppression for women, and everyone's covered. And so when my parents decided, hey, we're gonna leave, it was to give their 2 girls an opportunity to be whatever and do whatever they wanted to do. So my mindset has always been like an appreciation of what my parents did and the sacrifices they made. you know, you feel guilty. There's so many women that don't have this opportunity. And that's why we say never take for granted the opportunity you have here. And that's the driving force, maximize because you can. Otherwise, it's a slap in the face of the people that don't have it and you can't. So, you know, however we can help, we do, but you know, there's a sense of guilt and you feel bad for everybody behind. And we do the best we can here.
Channeling her grief from the oppression of women in her home country, Amitis launched multiple empowerment programs and charitable efforts through her studio.
I trademarked a program called Badass Moms.
Jab, cross, knee strike, land forward, bring it back. 1.
I had all these women from the community taking cardio kickbox, and it was very empowering for them. They loved hitting stuff, and I was like, man, you all need to get your black belts. And it just kept going, next generation, next generation, next generation. And now, you know, 13 years later, we've had hundreds of women go through our program, learning self-defense, empowering themselves.
Not everything works first time, always. So we're gonna do a forward elbow. We did it! Another year of successful blessing bags.
She's not only a leader here, but in our community too.
We're not just here for ourselves because we can't just give to ourselves in our community, whether it's a summer service projects, outreach during holiday times, does not matter. We are out there and we're helping others.
We try to do as much as we can for the Sacramento community. However you can contribute and make a difference and make a positive difference in people's lives, why not, especially if you can.